let's see. Is that going there? Is that working? Do I have a working microphone now? Let me jump back over to you guys and see if that's working up. Okay, yeah, the streaming gods are laughing. Okay. I have no idea what happened. I have absolutely no idea what was going on there. I have not I've not changed anything. I've not touched it. Oh my gosh. Well, welcome to what it's like to be me. I've been sitting here talking to y'all for, until I saw somebody say no sound. Thank you very much, everybody, for letting me know what's going on. That was insane. Well, see, you can't really test this stuff until it just starts going, until you go live and you just start talking and it starts streaming. Somehow in my Streamlabs OBS software, the mic got shut off, and I don't understand why that is. Oh well. Okay, so good morning, y'all. Happy Sunday. Thanks for joining me. It's been one heck of a week. I'm here to tell you what. We're roasting here in the summertime. I know you folks down south I say down south like it's just right down the road. I know you folks down in Australia and New Zealand and South Africa. If Kevin Els is in the house, I don't know if he is or not. I know you're in. You're in winter and heading into spring here soon. We're in the middle of summer, and like yesterday, we hit, 108 Fahrenheit, which is 42 Celsius. So you see what's going on with us. It's really, it's hot. It's real hot. So, and trying to work outside, I don't get a whole heck of a lot done because ain't nobody got time for working in the sun. No way. Today it's only supposed to get up to 105. So let's see what that is in Celsius. That's 40.5. So, going from ridiculous to, oh, hell no. So, well, let's go down the list, take a roll call, and see who's joining us today. And I appreciate everybody joining us. We have Lost Soul 517, Ice Cream 62, RC Builder 2525, David Roby from Florida. How you doing today? Sir Thomas Grimm took the Texas Eagle from Austin to Bloomington, Illinois. Wow. I've not been on a long train ride. I guess I have. The longest train ride I ever took was Amtrak from Charlotte to Savannah. And so, yeah, that was a ways, but nothing like that. So, Wade Nash from Southern California, how you doing today? Let's see, Sheldon Otto, who is recovering from a fractured hip after a fall from a roof. Lots of time on my hands to learn. Keep up the good learning videos. Well, thank you, sir. I'm sorry to hear about your accident. I hope you're on the mend and get well soon. I've never had that kind of fracture. I did break an arm. I was 5 years old, something like that. In fact, that's how I learned my left from my right, was I broke my left arm. So, get well soon, man. Get well soon. Let's see, Jeff Rozak. David Leonard from the Bay Area. I grew up in Fremont. Know the Bay Area fairly well. Mark, I am not going to butcher your last name a second time. Not going to do it. But thank you for joining us from Fairfield, PA. Yes, I'm a chicken. Stephen Main from Australia. Currently working on a project at Thursday Island. Wow. Man, y'all get to have some pretty good adventures. I'm getting too old for all that. Let's see. Jim Pell checking in from Williamsburg, Virginia. Steve Thomas in Arkansas. Mr. Steve Nealon from Harneal Media checking in with us. Speaking of getting well soon and hoping everybody's on the mend and healing up, there is a link in the description of this video to a GoFundMe we've set up. My buddy Steve Nealon there, Harneal Media, who sponsors Mark Lindsay CNC.com, by the way. Had some major health issues. We're talking serious heart attack, had to have open heart surgery, etc. They did open heart surgery on the man, a triple bypass, and 14 stents. So that GoFundMe is needed, and I'm going to keep talking about it. If you can click that link, if you have already donated, thank you very much from me. If you haven't, or if you can't, please at least click that link and share it on your social media so we can get more eyes on it. Steve and his wife Pam are very near and dear to me, and I'd like to help them out as much as I can. So, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really, really sincerely mean it. Paul Stewart checking in with us. Aaron Hansen, Mr. Dave Krause, the man, the myth, the legend. Okay, William Starkey. And now we get down to Michael Roy, Mr. Paul Morton. Ronald Ledger checking in from Bedford. Let's see. So Crazy telling me that it's working now. I appreciate that. We're getting close to the end here. Lots of new names. I love it. JMJ Love Dance from Jeff from Arizona. They had an overnight low of 91. You know, you're a better man than I am. Anybody that lives down in that, I mean, salute. I think it's bad here when we hit 108, but at least it cooled down to 78 at night. So, Rob Lemke. Let's see, Jim Johnson. Archery 1998. Beat me by 1 degree. Oh, man. Let's see. Bumps from Carlisle. Let's see. Thomas Wetzel. Lunas Decker. Oh, Martin Decker from the Netherlands. Got him a Stepcraft 840. You know what? I'm kind of impressed with those little Stepcrafts. I really am. Let's see. Michael Johnston checking in from Scotland. JP Woodwork, Jamie Page, saying Mark is the man with a super chat. Thank you very much, Jamie. I do appreciate that. But I'm not the man. You know who's the man. You're the man. Jamie over there in, I don't think he's in Margate. I think he's in Broadstairs. I'm almost positive of that. Over in the UK. Just an all-around good guy. Check out his channel. If you're into wood turning at all, he's the guy to watch. He does some pretty interesting stuff. Let's see. Jack Painter from Northeast Michigan. The sunny side, huh? Let's see. Kurt Briegel. Anything over 65 is too hot for me. What, were you born in the fridge? Wow. Okay. If you say so. And Mervyn from Poppy's Woodshed. How you doing today? Well, thank you for joining me, everybody. Boy, we got 46 people in here already. Thanks for spending part of your Sunday with me. Today we did the working with script fonts. It was kind of an update because a lot of things have changed, and I've been referring people to those script fonts videos, and I looked back at it, and I was still using VCarve 8.0. And so much has changed. Well, I'm currently on 10.5, so you can imagine the changes that have come and gone over the last, 5-6 years now. So I thought it was time to start doing some updated videos on these. I know I need to get into doing inlays and um, working with epoxy and more of the rotary axis stuff, but I'm kind of at a standstill on that simply because it's too hot outside. 108 degrees outside in the air translates to about 125, 130 in the shed because there's no insulation and there's no shade on it. It's there in the hot sun. And not only is it uncomfortable for me, the computer does not like running in 125, 130 degree weather, and neither does the CNC router. So until it cools down, and I'm talking about this fall, sometime around late September, early October, I can't even work in there, which is why I'm building a new shed. So where I'm going with this is until I can get back outside and actually get cutting again, I'm thinking about going back and revisiting some of these older how-tos before I started the Absolute Beginner series and doing updated versions of them to take advantage of the new software. Because like just this working with script fonts video, it was 20 minutes long, but the last script fonts videos I did, it took 2 videos to do, and that's just not necessary anymore. And it's the same with applying text to a curve. There were 2 or 3 videos, and that's just not necessary anymore. So I'm thinking about going back and revisiting some of those old videos. The main reason I did the script fonts video today was because I had 3 questions come in back to back to back. And it's like, okay, it's time to go ahead and remake that and update it and apply it to the new software. So if you have a request for one of those older videos you'd like to see updated, please just let me know, and I'll get to it. As far as newer videos, I'm working on a couple of things behind the scenes, but they're not going to be the larger topics like working with inlays because, as I said, now we have, Bill Deerhake says, discuss climb versus conventional cutting. I will do that. I did a video on it. In fact, I'm about to unlist it because I got a couple of things factually wrong and it threw off the entire video. So, in fact, when I'm done with this live stream, I'm just going to go ahead and unlist that video, and I will redo that one because I got a couple of things wrong in there and it just threw everything off. So, let's see. Climb versus conventional. I will redo that. So, I can give you the short version now. You want to use climb cutting. Just about all the time, you want to use climb cutting. I mean, there are a few exceptions, and I'll have to. That's another problem with making these videos, is I have to come up with a project that will let me demonstrate what I want to demonstrate, and trying to find something that will throw an error like that is sometimes difficult. Like last week I did cleaning up a node edit, and it was a struggle to find some artwork that would give me those little rectangles I wanted to show how to clean up, because most of my sources for images that I can use online, use in a video without paying a royalty or buying a license, most of my sources have good, clean vector graphics that I don't get that kind of an error. So I really had to struggle to find something that would give me enough of those little rectangles that I could show how to fix them. So David Roby wants to know, do you have a location for downloading additional text fonts? I don't really have a default website that I go to. One of them I do use, and I'll put a link in the description, is called Dafont, D-A-F-O-N-T. Let's see, I'll put a note, and I'll put a link to it down in the description after we get finished live here. Basically, I don't go searching for fonts until I absolutely need one, because as it sits right now, I just finished adding 2 fonts. I have over almost 1,400 fonts in my font folder. And you see in my videos when I click on text how long it takes to load all those fonts in there. It's real easy to overload your font folder by installing too many fonts. And it just slows everything down. So I tend to wait, and when I need a font, I'll go look for it. If I happen to know the name, I just do a Google search and see where I can find it. But I don't generally go looking for them. Now, you used to be able to go down to like Office Depot or any of the office supply shops and buy, DVD-ROMs that had 10,000 fonts and 40,000 pieces of clip art. Oh boy, was that ever a mistake. I don't know if they still sell those or if you buy font packages online anymore. Does anybody even buy DVD-ROMs anymore? But the main thing to remember when you are looking for fonts is to check licensing and attribution on them, because something I've noticed anymore, there is money to be made in drawing and designing fonts and vector graphics. And something I have discovered is if you go online and you look like at Dafont or any of the 1001 fonts or any of the font websites, is that they're free for personal use, but if you use them commercially, you're supposed to pay a licensing fee. And without that licensing fee, they have the right to come in, slap a cease and desist on you, and possibly file a lawsuit if they want to push it. So be careful with that. It's kind of odd, but then again, not really. I mean, what can you say? Just be careful is all I'll say. Let's see here. We've got Norman Peterson. Hello from Reno. Norman, I got your emails. I have been so busy. I've gotten everybody's emails. I've been so busy I have not been able to answer anything. It's possible I worked swing shift down in this is inside baseball. I worked swing shift at the Carson Nugget, which was a casino in Carson City, Nevada. I was the casino manager, And Norm sent me an email saying, "You look familiar. I used to go down there," because he worked on machines as well. It's possible. I'm sorry to say I don't remember, because I met so many people, as you can imagine, hundreds per day. I left there in 2011, 2012, something like that. So, and this brain doesn't fire on all 8 cylinders all the time. So it's possible we met. And howdy. Let's see here. William Starkey wants to know, where do you obtain your image files? Google search. But one of my go-tos, and I'll put a link to it in the description, is Pixabay. Pixabay. And I'll put a link in the description after we get done with the live stream here. They have images. They have vector graphics. They have, all kinds of stuff. DXF files. They have all kinds of things that people create and then just post up there. Not all of them are free for commercial use. Check licensing and attribution before you start making 100 and selling them, because people are serious about this stuff. But I also, when I do a Google search for an image, especially if it's for a video, because that's considered commercial use, when I look for an image for use in a video, I look for all public domain or free for commercial use. So every image I have used either comes with the software or is something that is public domain or free for commercial use. So let's see here. William Starkey says, wish there was a way to rotate material when in 2D design to help in line and setup of the project. There is. I will put a link in the description to a video I did on that. It's the X versus Y controversy. And I caught a little bit of flack for that, by the way. Some people say, oh no, it's not a gantry. That's your Y-axis. Well, no, it's not. So let's see. X versus Y. There is a way to rotate it all and get alignment, and I'll link that video in the description of this video. So let's see. Jim Johnson says, the video this morning was perfect timing. I'm making a name cutout for a friend's wedding and had problems getting it to work. Your video answered everything. Well, perfect timing then, Jim, as you said. Thank you very much. And give them my congratulations and good luck. Hope it all works out for you. Let's go back up and see if there are any other questions way up here. I'm not seeing anything other than the fact that I had no sound. Nope, no questions from earlier. So let's see. Kurt Briegel confirming defont.com is the site for fonts, but not all are there free for business use. Most are free for personal use. Yes, and personal use also includes you downloading to use it for yourself or to give as a gift to an immediate family member. That's considered personal use as well. At least in every case I have ever seen or dealt with myself. So just be careful, that's all. You know, some folks, I mean, and that's a big topic of discussions. You can get away with a lot once, but when they find you... Okay, Dave Matthews says, you have 2 live streams running at the same time. I was in the other and wonder why I wasn't seeing any of the comments come in. That's interesting, Dave. Maybe that's the one that's using the audio that I was having a problem with earlier. This is interesting. Okay. Rob Lemke wants to know, do you have a video on how to set V-Carve depth? I don't know if you've watched my series on V-carving for absolute beginners. It's 4 video series, and I discuss all of that. In part 1, it shows how the V-bit, how the depth of cut is determined. And part 2, part 2 is a simple text project. Part 3 is a V-carving to a flat depth, which I think is what you're talking about. And then part 4 is V-carving on a 3D object. So, okay, Jim Pell wants to know, Mark, this is a bit off subject, but how do you draw and size a molding profile? I did one video on the molding toolpath. I don't know if that's what you're referring to, Jim. I basically just take measurements and draw the profile to size, to scale. So if it, for instance, if it has a flat area that's a 1/4 inch, make that flat area that's a 1/4 inch, and then scale everything else to fit. I hope that helps. Rob, in the description of this video, you have to scroll down a little bit. There is a link to that V carving for the Absolute Beginner series. It's 4 videos. It's not much, but it will get you going in the right direction. So let's see. Kurt Briegel says, I believe I saw your video for doing a chamfer on a model, then cutting the model out. Can't seem to find it. I have put a chamfered edge on a couple of projects. I don't know if I put one on a 3D model, though. I might have chamfered an edge on the plaque I made for my wife, but I don't remember 100%. And basically all I did to create that chamfer was draw a vector and then did a profile toolpath cutting on the vector to a depth of, I believe, 1/8 of an inch, and used a 90-degree V-bit. So I got an 1/8 deep chamfer that was 45 degrees, because half of the 90-degree V-bit. And I cut that. I don't remember now if I cut it on the vector or outside the vector. I think I cut it on the vector. And then when I did the profile cutout, it cut outside the vector and everything worked out. So let's see. Let's see. I hope that answers your question. But I don't remember which one it was. I've done the chamfer on a couple, 3 different models. One of them was the wedding sign with the wedding rings, not the round one, the big rectangular one. And I don't remember which video that was. That project did get cut out for real with different names and stuff like that. And that went to Steve Nealon's niece as a wedding gift from Steve. So, let's see. Richard Weiss wants to know, is there a way to set a starting point at 3, 6, or 9 in VCarve Pro? Starting point. Are you talking about of a circle? You go into node editing and you want to set a starting point? That's very simple. Select the circle and go in, tap the letter N on the keyboard to go into node editing. Put your cursor over the point you want to be the start point. Right click, and then in that menu, click make start point. And then that's it. So let's see. We've been on for 30 minutes. We'll give it another 5 just because the first 5 of this one was no audio. So let's see. And I still don't know, Dave and Kevin, I don't know why there's a second live stream running, but do know that I will be going back and deleting that one. So if you're over in the other live stream, I don't know what's going on with this. Excuse me. I don't know why there would be a second live stream, but that will be deleted after we all shut down. Let's see. Jerry Corman wants to know, is there a certain depth that you have to install the tool into the router? Believe it or not, I did a video on that. Yes, there is. You need to get as much of that shank in there as you can. I'll put a link to that video in the description. Let's see. I'll put in the description of this video. So, yeah. I will get that in there. You need to get as much of that shank in there as you can. And because it's got to grip it. Depending upon whether you're using a spindle or a router, most will run, I think the slowest I've ever seen anybody run a spindle for wood was around 10,000 RPM. And depending upon the router you have, they'll spin anywhere from 12,000 to 26,000 RPM. So with something spinning that fast, you know you got to have as much of that shaft buried in that collet as you can. So Dave Gatton, the man, the myth, the legend, my CNC guru. Any update on the new shop? Yes, it is still on hold. The plumbers came out. They found the leak. I was going to save that for the end here. Basically, what's going on was when I went to get underneath the house to start running conduit for electrical, I found a massive leak under the house, plumbing leak. Turns out it's not any of the pipes in the house. It's the main water pipe coming up out of the ground into the house. They found the leak. They will be here tomorrow at noon with a big vacuum truck to get under the house and suck out all that mud so they can fix that plumbing pipe. And then hopefully when things get back to normal, and then backfill all that with gravel, then I can start digging up and start laying conduit. Other than that, that's why I'm at work stoppage. It's all dependent on that plumbing and how much that's going to cost, because that's taking out of the shop budget. So we've got an estimate. If they stick with their estimate, I'll be able to go get the trencher and get the conduit laid and start running some wiring out there, then get the gravel pad done. But I've been waiting on this. This plumbing thing has taken 2 weeks so far. So that's where I'm at on the shop build. So Richard Weiss, no, instead of having the starting point in the lower left-hand corner, I would like to start at either 3, 6, 9, or 12 for your X and Y. There is a way you can do it. And I'm going to have to play around a little bit and get let's see. I'm going to have to do it a couple of times. I will make a video on it. You can use a combination of the 4 corners. Like if you don't want to zero in the bottom left corner, let's say you want to zero at the 6 o'clock position. You can set your XY datum at the lower left and then use an offset. That's what that offset is for right there in your XY datum position. But I'll need to do it a few times before I can show you how to do it. So, let's see. Dave says, oh, it's only money. You can always make more. Yes, that's true. I can always make more. The problem is what goes to the plumber tomorrow was going to go for getting gravel. So now I got to make more so I can go get gravel. If that makes sense. Excuse me. So, yeah, it's not a problem. It's just a problem. So, alrighty, I think we'll go ahead and wrap this one up. Sorry for the confusion. If, I'm being told that there's another live stream running right now. If there is another live stream, I will be deleting that one. This will be the one that's going to stay up. And, I don't know what's going on. My audio didn't work. None of that. So I had to go and mention the stream gods smiling upon me. They laughed up their sleeve, turned around and kicked me right in the tail. What can you say? It's what it's like to be me. Okay, I'd like to thank you, Jamie Page, for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. If you want to leave a thumbs up down there, I would appreciate that as well. Also, do me a favor and hit that link to the GoFundMe and at least share it to your social media. I would appreciate that. I'd like to get that in front of as many eyes as we can. As I said, Steve and Pam are very near and dear to my heart, and they just need a little help right now. So, yes, Dave, I am still using Streamlabs OBS, and it works fine. For some reason, YouTube is having a hiccup. right now. Throwing a hairy knicker fit. That's why it's giving me 2 live streams. I don't understand. Okay, I will call this good for this week. I have no idea what next week's video is going to be. Here's hoping it's an update on the shed, but don't quote me on that. We'll see what happens. So for now, I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Oh, wait a minute. Stop. Oregon Batman in the house. If you have not been watching the Oregon Batman, if you are into teardrop trailers at all, head over, look up the Oregon Batman's channel. I hesitate to say you are finished with the trailer, but oh man, is that teardrop trailer looking sweet. This week he went down the list and he reported on the cost of building this awesome looking little teardrop trailer. And I'm here to tell you it was a steal. I'm not going to tell you how much it was. You got to watch it. But man, he really knocked it out of the park. Home run at first at bat. Anyway, check him out. Al over at the Oregon Batman. Sweet little teardrop build. And I have the teardrop building Jones on me again. We'll see what's going on. I don't think so, though. I got no place to keep it, Al. It has to be stored inside. Okay. Thank you very much, y'all. I appreciate it. Y'all have a good week. And I'll see you next Sunday. Y'all take care.